The show. Happy Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm Seth. This is Ashley. And we're talking about mixing cuisines and cultures because it's hot right now.
It is so hot right now. We're with Jimmy Tarr. He's the owner of the Bistro Bus food truck, and he's here to show us how to make Asian fusion tacos. Welcome, Jimmy.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
Great to have you.
So what's the fusion? What kind of taste do you bring together?
Taco's basically a Mexican sort of dish, Latin dish, and we've brought some Asian flavors. We have a char siu pork, which is a little bit of sweet pork with a nice sauce on it. We have a honey ginger chicken, which is a little spicy. We have a spicy tofu that gets mixed with a fresh bean sprouts that we get. Thai coleslaw, which we also get. All that stuff is local. This time of the year, we're blessed up in our part of the valley where we can get every vegetable that we're using locally sourced, which is fabulous. And then we have the spicy tofu, and then we hit it with a little bit of a chili mayonnaise, just to give it a zip.
And now the tofu, do you marinate that?
What we do with the tofu is we take the 1 pound blocks of tofu, cut them in half, press them to get some of the water out of them, cover them with a sriracha and hot chili sauce, bake them off for an hour, and then set them up and slice them into 10 slices. So every order of tacos, which is 2, gets 8 ounces of protein with it.
So here's my question. When you slice it up and you're searing it a little bit, do you get that gummy taste out?
Not at all. It gets a nice crispy outside.
So you don't, because I'm nervous when it comes to the tofu, because you're going to get it like the cottage cheese bite.
Right. No, nothing like that at all, because we bake it off first, which takes a lot of the water out of it. And then in our food truck, we have a 36-inch flat top grill. So everything gets cooked on that grill. So it's nice and hot, gets a nice crisp crust on the outside. It's one of the hugest hits we have up in the Northampton area.
Okay, well, let's break down the taco. So we start with the shell, and then so we have the sprouts. What's in this slaw?
The Thai coleslaw is a fresh red cabbage that we buy from a farm in Whately. We get mint, cilantro, and Thai basil, 2 of which are grown in my own garden. And then it's tossed with a Asian, I call it a dressing, I guess, which is lime juice and rice wine vinegar and a little bit of honey and some seasonings.
Now, can it stay for a little while because it has that lime in it?
This is good. Although we're pretty much preparing everything the day we go out. So, but when we come back and there's a little leftover, my kids are more than glad to have it.
Well, that's good.
My kids are in their 30s.
So you could make it and save it maybe for a week or so?
Probably more like 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
The secret to saving stuff like this is in airtight containers.
Right. Make sure the air doesn't get in there so you have nice fresh coleslaw. Now, what about this? Is just plain bean sprouts?
Plain bean sprouts. They come from Chang Farm in Whately. They're the biggest grower of bean sprouts in the area. They're fresh. It's not like going to the supermarket and buying a bag of bean sprouts. These are right off the production line, basically.
Can I try one, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
Well, because it gives the taco a little bit of a crunch,
It gives it a nice crunch. It's a nice balance of flavor, especially with the spicier ones where it's a little bit less, and just kind of gives it a good balance.
Yeah. All right, so we have our base. We have the sauce, we have the sprouts, and we have the shell. Now, let's talk about the protein again. You were talking a char siu?
Char siu pork. We take whole pork butts and slow roast them. Takes about 6 or 8 hours to get them to where they're nice and tender. And then we'll pull all the pork, and then the char siu sauce is made from hoisin sauce and Chinese 5-spice and honey. And so it's sort of a sweet sauce on those tacos.
And Jimmy, if people are lazier than you, could they buy char siu sauce? Or do you have to make your own?
They can buy char siu sauce at any Asian market. We shop at the Asian market up in Hadley on Route 9. They have everything you could possibly want. So they do have jars of char siu sauce. The honey ginger for the chicken is a little bit different. We take whole roaster chickens and roast them off real slow also, and pull them also, take them apart completely. And then the honey ginger sauce is honey and fresh ginger and soy sauce and red chili peppers and lemon juice and canola oil.
Now, could people make this in a slow cooker if they wanted to?
You could make that in a slow cooker. You absolutely could. I don't know if you'd want to use a whole chicken. But you probably could. Some slow cookers will take a whole chicken.
But would you add the sauce after?
The sauce goes on after everything is cooked. When I roast the chickens off, they're seasoned with garlic and a lot of ginger.
And then you mix the
right.
sauce.
So after I pull the chicken and pull the pork, that's when the sauces go on.
All right, Jimmy, we have about 1 minute left. Can we wrap some up?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, here we go.
I got taco shells right here. We got a spatula right here for the tofu tacos.
Now, what are those? What's the sauce that looks like Russian dressing, maybe?
It's a hot chili mayonnaise. That's mayonnaise with sriracha in it.
Yeah.
And that's what goes on top of.
That's like the spicy mayonnaise you see on sushi rolls a lot.
Yes. So this goes just like this. Excuse me for 1 sec.
Of course.
Pull a few bean sprouts out.
They are nice and crunchy.
I got to
Never
try.
had a bean sprout with that crunch before.
I've never had a local bean sprout. I didn't know you could grow these up here.
know,
Yeah,
right?
well, they're grown indoors.
Aha.
So,
So you have herbs in your garden, but no bean sprouts in your garden.
no, bean sprouts are grown professionally, strictly.
A little bit of this.
A little bit of chicken.
Here we go. We'll put it on this one.
That's beautiful.
Now, Jimmy, give us a little preview of what we're going to make later in the show.
Later in the show, we're going to be making our signature chili, grilled cheese pulled pork with southern-style pulled pork and caramelized onions and pepper jack cheese.
So more fusion.
More
Man,
fusion, more
that's
fusion.
amazing. Well, thanks so much, Jimmy. These are beautiful, and I bet they taste even better. Thanks so much for being
Thanks
here.
very
We'll
much
see
for
you
having us.
later on in the show.